Welcome. We're really excited to have you here. I'm Donna Heslin. I'm Manager for Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Small Business for the City of Mississauga. We are part of the Economic Development team at the City. And our team supports the small business community, really those that are looking to grow, scale businesses. The other arm of economic development looks at and supports the larger businesses, those that are looking to land in Mississauga or those that are growing and shaping within the city. So great team. We work really well together. And basically, we want to take the baby companies and grow them into big ones that grow and stay in the city and create jobs, create opportunities, and drive the economy. So welcome here to have you here. We're so happy and we're excited about what's coming. So I'm going to start with a little land acknowledgement to recognize the lands that we're on. So we acknowledge the lands which constitute the present day City of Mississauga as being part of the treaty and traditional territory of the Mississauga of the Credits First Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Huron-Wendat, and Wyandot Nations. We recognize these peoples and their ancestors as peoples who inhabited these lands since time immemorial. The City of Mississauga is home to many global Indigenous peoples. And on Monday, we'll be celebrating Reconciliation Day and taking some time to really think about that. So I'm going to share a little more. As a municipality, the City of Mississauga is actively working towards reconciliation by confronting our past and our present, providing space for Indigenous peoples within their territory to recognize and uphold their treaty rights to support Indigenous peoples. We formally recognize the Anishinaabe region's origins of our name and continue to make Mississauga a safe space for all Indigenous people and everyone here today. So we're so happy to have you and really excited to welcome Dorothy, who we were just talking, was introduced by Shelley here. Dorothy Vernon-Brown is a leading marketing automation, not an automaton, automation strategist and coach who empowers entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, and service providers to harness the explosive power of AI and automation. And if you haven't heard AI at least 3 times today already, then you haven't been listening. It's happening everywhere, so we're really excited to hear this. Dorothy's mission is to help you turbocharge your sales and scale efficiently without the risk of burnout. During this session, Dorothy will provide a cutting-edge discussion designed for forward-thinking business owners, all of you, and entrepreneurs who are ready to effectively leverage the power of AI and automation to future-proof their businesses. So please welcome to the stage, Dorothy.
Thank you so much, Dawn. I feel like a rock star. I'm a rock star. That's good. I'll take that. I guess that's the only time I'll get that. All right, so who's ready to learn? We've got a lot to get through, and I'm so excited to see you all. Well, hello and welcome all my Mississaugans, business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you entrepreneurs and business owners in the house? Yep. All right, I need some more energy. Yoo-hoo! Yeah. You're doing amazing work, and we're going to learn amazing things. Well, that's what I think. So let's get started. So yeah, we know that. So I want to do 2 quick polls. So yeah, Donna talked about us hearing all about AI. So let me see if you can do a quick grab of that QR code and let me know if you can get to that poll. If not, we're going to go really old school, which is, are you able to get into that QR code? Yep. And do the poll. Poll 1, fantastic. All right, let me know when you're done. If you need the QR code, I can go, oh, it's right there on the screen. Good. All right, all done? Yeah? All right, well, thank you so much. Then let's go to poll number 2. I want to know what aspects you're using AI in your business or where you think you can benefit most from automation and AI integration. So that's QR code number 2. If I'm in the way, I can scoot out. All right, how are we? Are we all done? Or you need another minute or second? All right. It's a hard question. It's fine. There's no judgment around it. It's just to gauge the temperature of all our entrepreneurs. Listen, this thing is I mean, it's wild, as my daughter would say. It's AI. All right. So I assume that you're all done, and we're going to keep it moving. Now, Donna talked a little bit about me. Yes, I'm a marketing strategist and coach, automation. I authored a book called The Automatic Follow-Up Formula, The Ultimate Guide to Converting Prospects into High-Paying Clients on Amazon. And one of the things, I'm an advocate for tech to solve marketing challenges for business owners and entrepreneurs. And if you told me that 10 years ago, I'll tell you that's a lie. I would not be here speaking, but I've come to value, there was an aha moment, and I've come to value the awesome power of technology in driving business. And that's why I'm now a big advocate for it. I'm not a tech guru, so let's be clear about that. But I appreciate and I understand how to use it. So let's move. All right, so today our objective is to demystify automation in AI for those of you who are a little new to it. We want to talk about how automation and AI are shaping behaviors and expectations from your customers and clients. I want to give you a framework for proper prompting, because I know a lot of you are already using GPTs, whether that's Chat by OpenAI or Claude or Perplexity or whatever, you're already using it. But I want to give you a framework on how to get the most out of your prompts. And then I think you might be excited about some practical examples I'm going to show you around how you can use automation and AI. And I just want to be clear, this is in context of marketing. There are AIs for your finance, running numbers, for ops and so on, operations. I'm speaking particularly to marketing. Certainly there are some spillovers. And then we want to talk about the ethical considerations when you use AI, because that is a big subject. And if it's, there's no standardization at this point, but I want all of us who are using AI to think about that. All right, so what's automation? At its core, automation involves using technology to perform repetitive tasks with minimal human intervention, and that is just the basic at its core. We're using technology to perform repetitive tasks, so there's very minimal human intervention. And I give you a very simple example of email responses. And we can talk about a customer journey where we get a little bit more complex with the automation. I'll give you an example of that. So let's talk about the basics of artificial intelligence. So at its core, AI utilizes systems and machines to mimic human intelligence. I said mimic, not replace. I just want to be clear about that. It is mimicking human intelligence to perform tasks based on the data and information collected. So with AI learning, machine learning, it's all about data, feeding the machine with data and mimicking human intelligence. Again, not replacing. You never can replace your common sense or your intelligence and how you think about problems and solve them. All right, so how does it learn? It learns by being fed a large amounts of information from places like the internet. It has swaths of information from the internet, books that we know, we've read, newspapers, magazines, academic research, social media blogs that you have written, forums that you're a part of, and anywhere that it can be legally accessed. So that's how it learns. And Zapier gave a really nice visual display of how you process in natural language, and I really like it. So you see at the center is the machine learning. It's literally learning. So it's been fed data. It's been trained on the data. It gets to know you. So those of you who are using, say, your GPTs, you will, as you train it, as you do more and more with it, it starts to sound like you. And that's what we talk about, training it. And then you see it gets feedback. You see if when you use it, whether Netflix, Amazon, GPT, it will say, was this helpful? Thumbs up, thumbs down. That is getting feedback. And that's how it's using the feedback to determine what the customers want. And then there are algorithms. that it uses to know who you are as a client. So have you ever noticed, and I'll go to that one. So I really, really love this. And then it spits out the information that you're looking for, whether you're asking it to write copy for email or your sales page, or to write, social media posts or blogs. It learns. It's learning from the data you are training it with. And so it spits it back out. That is how the AI at a thing. So these are our large language models, LLMs. What it does, as we talked about, is that it understands and generates human-like language. So it's on data sets, many kinds of equations that it uses that I cannot tell you, but we know it is it's fed, so it can answer the questions that you ask it, so that it can create the content that you want, and so it can have that back and forth conversation. And further in the presentation, you will see an actual AI agent having a back and forth conversation that I created. So some of the popular ones that I mentioned it earlier. You have GPT. We call it Chat GPT by OpenAI, and this was back in 2022. You remember in November, maybe you heard it in the following year, in 2023, everybody started talking about this AI. It kicked off, they launched in November 2022. And then since then, so let's be clear, this became ubiquitous to all of us here, ordinary people, but enterprise level organizations like HP and Google and Alphabet and so on, they already had AI working for them, right? A lot of these, Amazons and the Alibabas and all of these big enterprise companies already had AI in there working for them, but we're now exposed. And people like Claude by Anthropic and Llama by Meta, formerly Facebook, and Perplexity, which is a privately held company by three big tech giants coming from some of these companies, as a matter of fact. So these are the popular ones that we use, and these are great for us at this point. One thing I want to say, because I hear it so much, I want to drive home this point. These are just tools. Yes, they think faster, they make you look smarter. They are just tools. They are as efficient or inefficient as you use them. They are not some zombie that's going to take you by night. It's not something you need to be afraid of. They are just tools for you to utilize. That's what they are. But what these tools do, like your phones, who can live without their smartphones now? None of us, right? Just like our smartphones, they are now tools. It gives you back time. It streamlines your repetitive processes. It reduces human error. It also reduces cost, because whether we like it or not, some of these agents are actually now, a lot of people are now using them as their virtual employees. Let me just get some water. Customer engagement, because you can respond with immediacy and urgency. So that's what people like. So let's dive into marketing in the age of AI and automation, because here's the truth. This is where we are. And whether you don't know a lot about it, or you know enough, or whether you know a lot, this is not going. And what is going to happen in the next 6 months, in the next year, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years is beyond what we can even think or imagine at this point. So my recommendation is that you start to embrace it as a tool. Let's go. So what we know is that consumer behavior is changing. We know that. Your client behavior is changing. The clients that you want to attract, their behavior is changing. They demand faster and more personalized service. We talked about Netflix and Amazon. When you watch your shows, or you go, you're finished purchasing Netflix will say, did you like this? Yes or no? Here are more that you might like. It is the algorithm that's learning your patterns and behavior. So I want you to bear that in mind. When you check out of Amazon, it will show more like this. Or you might see these are usually bought together. Whether you're buying let's say a microphone, so that it will give you a stand, it will give you something else, because it's learning your behavior and anticipating what you might likely want to buy. So that's how the algorithm, that's how the data is learning and being trained for your specific needs. As a matter of fact, I was listening to a podcast recently on AI, and I think there are parts of China where either Alibaba or Temu are now dropping things by drone, right? So we're going to get to that point at some point. Here in North America, we'll see, but that's what's going to, as it learns your behavior, whether you want something faster, if you want something immediately, or you want something the following day, that is how it's going to learn those behaviors. I just wanted to go back to talking about faster and more personalized services. Gone are the days when you can be general about how you serve your clients. There is an author that I like to read, Jay Baer. He says that responsiveness equals revenue. The faster that you can respond is the greater your revenues will grow, because our customers and our clients are now demanding faster and more personalized service. Because the truth is, if you are not giving them what they want, guess what? Yep, they're going next door to Joe Blow. So this is where it becomes so important. How many of you wish Amazon wasn't as fast as it is? Not one of you, which means that's how we need to start looking at our businesses. We need to become the Amazon in our industry, because our clients and our customers are demanding faster, and we'll talk about more personalized service. So I want to talk about, like here, if you host a virtual and in-person event like webinars and masterclasses. How many of you host webinars and masterclasses, whether in person? Perfect. You can actually automate the process and create personalization at scale. So all that we're doing is make scaling or thinking faster. Those are the two things. We're either scaling what we have without the burnout, as I talk about, without sometimes having to hire more staff. And we are also personalizing. So our clients say, how did you know I wanted this? You're in their heads. That's what I like to tell my clients. So let's look at this. So this is a virtual thing I had last June. So that was virtual. Once I'm just showing you a process, my process with the automation. So that's my landing page. That's part of the landing hero section. Then once they sign up, they get that's automated. That everything here is automated. Once I set this up, it's not touched again. It's not touched until I start to work with clients. So they get a confirmation. I tell them what needs to happen next. As a matter of fact, I was testing it again to ensure we're still. And I actually, so not only do you'll see that I send emails, a confirmation, I also do text messages, and I also have text messages. So what I'm doing is meeting my clients exactly where they are, because a lot of people aren't reading emails. So I'm also sending them text. So we're personalizing, so we meet our clients exactly where they are. So that with this personalization, I give them the name and so on. But what's cool about this, the link, my Zoom link, is very personalized. It's not a generic link. Every person who gets a confirmation gets a unique link. So if you shared your link with someone else, they wouldn't be able to access the masterclass. And so that's part of the personalization, where we are able to do that. And this looks a little complex, and the technology that I use, the tech I use, so you will see me segmenting from day one. So there already, I have new contacts and I have old contacts, because I don't want to really speak to somebody who's already in my system. And then I give them those prior to my webinar. They're getting a series of email, the confirmation, warming them up. I Can't wait to see you. What is it you want to learn, and so on and so forth. But what I want you to really understand, and then what is the key here is after the masterclass, I'm not sending a generic email to everybody, thank you for coming. I have segmented those people and they're tagged in my system. So the people who stayed for the entire period, they're getting one email that's very personal to them. People who I've given them an offer, right? People didn't buy, they're segmented. I want to know why you didn't buy, or I can target them again. The people who just left at some point, I'm also talking to them. So I have many opportunities to speak to them again. And this is the beauty of segmentation, because now I can go back. So if they didn't buy the first time, I'm always touching them and I'm speaking to them exactly how based on how they have behaved. So this segmentation is based on behavior. And this is what we talk about. So see, my messages are relevant and they're personalized to each attendee based on the behavior. And it eliminates the generalization and shows you care. I laugh because I remember I'm part of a nonprofit. And before we had our own system, we just used, I'm not knocking MailChimp, but we didn't have the automation in MailChimp. And we had a gala and we had sent out a blast to everybody, buy your tickets and so on. I sent out a second blast and the woman responds, I have already bought my ticket, exclamation. Because we didn't segment her, we didn't take her out of our flow. She bought, she didn't want us asking her to buy, it showed that we weren't clear who was buying and who wasn't. And so we might think this to be trivial, but that has stuck with me. I have already bought my ticket, exclamation. And that is what we talk about, showing that you care. Now, so let's talk about AI in marketing. I know this is a part you're excited about. So using generative pre-trained transformers, GPT. So if you didn't know what GPT was, that's what it stands for, generative pre-trained transformers. And back in the Zapier visual, I showed you how it is it's learning, it's being trained, and it's gonna give us back the information. So if you're a business using social media to generate leads and sales, I'm going to show you how an AI-powered DM automation can respond at scale to queries or register webinar attendees or offer freebies. How many of you use social media to generate sales? And how many of you use your social media? Great. Okay, perfect. So let me show you. So here's what I want to demo. You can actually participate. This is my Instagram. You can DM me, or drop a comment in a post, any random post, the word DM sales one, and this is what's gonna happen. Yeah, that's my Instagram if you want to try it. You want to test it. It's pretty cool, I believe. You can tell me if it's not. I can just be overexcited about my own things, right? So those of you who are testing it, I want to get some feedback after. So I actually have, okay. All right. So that's it. What's happening here, it's delivering a lead magnet. So it's having a conversation. So I'm here and that can be happening. That's what we talk at scale. So that's happening. If they want it, I say, give me the word sales one. And I'm having a conversation. And so this is a chatbot having a conversation or wanting the thing. So actually, say I'm on live, say this was a virtual event and I was live. I could say, if you want to get these slides, DM me the word X or Y, and it would deliver it really easily and quickly. So that is the beauty of, so if you are, I think we have a coach here or any business at all, if you want to give away a free consultation, something, you can actually have this happen without you having to be really constantly monitoring this thing. So what you see there, what the benefit was, is that it's an immediate response. It automates the engagement because people are back. I see people back and forth with it. It eliminates the manual responses, and this is personalization at scale. Because if you go through it, it learns. It knows your name. We ask, and then throughout the conversation, it calls you by name, and it has some fun with you. It delivers whatever it needs to deliver. I think this one, even you can have explanations. I wanted to just, I'm reminded of a story of, I had a peer when we were on a call once, and he said, talking about immediate response. He had hosted a webinar or something online, and he was giving away a free offer as well. And he said, if you want it, DM me the word, whatever, DM me. Well, he got a lot of DMs, and he saw that 2 weeks after. And what he said, he was so overwhelmed, he just couldn't keep up. This eliminates that. I have another peer, she said, I offered something and I had so many DMs, I got overwhelmed, I didn't respond. That's not good. When you invite people to participate in your world, you've got to respond. And this does that for you. So, another scenario. How many of you onboard new clients? You onboard new clients. What's your process? Send an email link. I can meet you here, this, that, you have some forms, all of that. This is how AI is going to save time. So it can automate the AI agent. Now, this is now an agent. The other one is chatbot, an assistant, but that was pre-trained. This one, what I'm going to show you is that this is also pre-trained. So this is how there is for my, right. So you will see, this is my agent onboarding a new client for my DM virtual thing. See, it's asking its questions. It's taking time to respond. It says, congrats and welcome. So can I start? I use the tool I use, one of the tools I use, I ask it because I already know that. Then it shares it. Then I'm asking it, can you let me know which CRM provider you use? It's going to tell me. So now I'm gathering information from this new client. And I'm not touching it. I'm here. It's faster, smarter. So, all right, you get the picture. What's the impact? It has reduced that manual back and forth. That's saying, no, I can't do this here. No, can you? Oh my goodness me. I have regained more time to work on delivering for my clients and work on revenue generating activities. I've eliminated all of that. And clients are onboarded quickly and seamlessly, and I look cool. Okay, just saying. Now, if you generate leads for your business, let me see how many of you generate leads for your business. Well, if you're not generating leads, what's going on? You need to generate leads for your business. Unless you have a ton load of, and then that's a whole nother ops argument. Now, I'm going to show you now a generative trained AI sales agent. This one's going to ask questions. It's going to assess the needs. Like, how many of you do discovery calls? Okay. So this is your discovery call guy or girl or whatever. All right. So it's trained. So you remember how we looked at that Zapier where it's trained on stuff? That's what I've done. I've trained it. I've given it information and I've trained it on my own system and my own solutions and my own offers and my schedule and my booking calendar. So let's look at that one. So you can actually, if you want to, you can go here. Let me see if I have a, you can go here and you can put in the word discover one. Just drop it DM or drop it in a comment and you'll see how cool that one is. I really, really like this one. And I'm going to be adding audio to this one. where you can actually speak to it, and I get the transcript, and I know what's going on immediately. All right. So, all right, let's do this one. So this is someone is asking me, tell me about your service. And this is a back and forth conversation this agent is having with this this prospect. So it's understanding. It has been trained to understand, and the more it gets muscle, it's the more it's going to be know and be trained. So it's asking, what are you? I'm looking. So it says, I'm looking for more leads, and then the agent asks, what strategies like if you were having a discovery call? You'd be asking, so what strategies are you currently using? What have you used in the past? What's working? What isn't working? And it says you look like you're looking for a more proactive and predictable way to generate leads. And the prospect says, that's right. I'm looking for more proactive approach, and it will go on and on and on. Well, not on and on and on. And then it's set up so that it's trained to either qualify or disqualify based on the services that I offer. So these are based on my business needs. And it goes on like that. And this is the one I'm telling you, I'm just about to add audio to this one, where if you don't want to type anymore, you can just talk to it. And this is the power of AI. This is what's coming down, which is where we are at this point. All right. So what's the impact? Automatic qualification process. So I talk about qualification, disqualification based on what I have pre-trained it to do. It's automatic follow-up. No manual trying to chase someone. It's automatic. So I've regained more time to work on strategic initiatives, like having this thing with you here. I mean, this is a strategic initiative, and I can do more client delivery work. And the most important thing is that no lead is falling through the cracks. As a matter of fact, I was just coaching a client, and she said she runs ads, and they come in, and sometimes she uses Meta, and she uses the forms, the ad with forms, and they come in, and she doesn't remember, she doesn't see it. It's not until a week or so later. Guess what's going to happen? That prospect is finding someone else. And that's the most important thing, is that there's no lead falling through the cracks. And that's what we want. We really want to be as efficient as possible with our business. So this is another cool one. How many of you know of custom GPTs? Perfect. So what it is, it's an AI tool that has been trained. Again, it comes back. We're training it with data. We're training it to learn our business needs. For specific business needs, we train it on based on the customer behaviors and attitudes. Like, I'm sure a lot of you do sales and marketing, content generation. If you're training staff, meeting notes and analyzing numbers. As a matter of fact, one of the things that you also can do, if you have podcast, you can now take transcripts. You can have your custom GPT. You get transcripts. You turn it into notes. You turn it into social media posts. You turn it into newsletters. You turn it into articles. That's the power of AI now. Quickly thinking smarter and faster. And here's the thing, you're going to have a leg up on your competitors, because you're now able to put out more content. You're able now, and that content builds authority and expertise. And that's what that does for you. And so this is my cool marketing Millie. You can stay ahead with Millie's innovative marketing strategies and trend predictions. She empowers people like you, business owners, entrepreneurs, service providers, coaches, and consultants to achieve first mover advances and sustainable growth. So this is my custom GPT. It's private, but the link is there. You can play around. You can actually go in here and ask her questions based on those parameters. So you can get started by asking, how do I segment my audience for a new product or a new service? You can ask her, what's the best way to personalize email campaigns? Can you help me analyze this customer data? How should I adjust my marketing? And this is just conversation starters, but you can go in and ask her about marketing, automation, and marketing strategies. If you want, that's, I've made the link available to you. If you wanted to try it, you could try it and just ask her whatever. And the point is, you can create your own custom GPTs to do whatever you want it to do. So if you want, we talked about it, if you want to create higher quality content faster, fast. If you want to improve your social media engagement, again, if you want to transcribe audio from your podcast or your webinars, if you want to create posts and newsletters, that's what you can use a custom GPT to do. So, so this one, oh, I wanted to do a live demo. You know what this one is? I wanted, or somebody, we could actually do, if you wanted to do one, I wanted to show you, so this post I did on LinkedIn and it got a lot of engagement. And it was, so I wanted to, just give me a second, I wanted to go into my LinkedIn and show you. We could actually, so that is the, let me just go. Okay, here is the, so I've came across a report that spoke about how different generations feel about their authenticity online versus offline. We could actually, so I created that post. I'm just talking about the GPT and how we can use it to create content. With this now, I could now take this, put it into my custom GPT or into my own chat and just ask it to do a bunch of things for me. You can do that too. I could ask it to make 30 days worth of posts. I could ask it to give me ideas how I can make reels. I could ask it to give me ideas on how to write an article or take it and create an article, whether it's 1,000 words or 500 words or whatnot. So the moral of this story for you is whatever engagements you are getting when it comes to your content, whatever good engagement you're getting on your social, use that as a way to generate new ideas. You can use your large language models, whether it's GPT, whether it's Claude, whether it's Perplexity, and ask it to generate new content. So that's what we talk about, thinking faster. So this one, I liked it because it had a lot of information. All right, so I wanted to do a live demo, but maybe time is against us. Slideshow. Okay. Okay, so a lot of you are using it. How many of you, I haven't looked at the survey results, are using GPT for content? How many of you actually have a framework for your prompt? How do you prompt your GPT? Mm-hmm. Okay, good, good. Fantastic. That's great. So I'm going to give you a prompt that you can really use to get more from the GPT, because remember, we're training it on information and data. And the thing with all of these models is the more specific you are, is the better the results are going to be. Let's put it this way. Whatever the input will equate to your output. So, so a prompt, a lot of you might know, it's just a set of instructions and guidelines for the model. So this is one, this is not original, but I use it. It is from my Prompt Masters course. I'm part of a community and a course. So there are 6 key elements. You need to give, when you're prompting to ask it to do anything, when instructions, whatever, when you're creating your personas, or no, I'm sorry, your custom GPTs or your agents, you have to give it a persona. It's the same way when you're working through your ideal clients. So we're saying, I'm giving you an example. So we're giving a persona and context. Act as a world leading copywriter like Leo Burnett, who finds the inherent drama in a product and presents it through warmth and shared experience. So we're setting up the GPT to think like Leo Burnett or anybody else that you like. And we know that Leo, we're laying the groundwork. So the first thing you need to give it is the persona and context. This is critical. These two, the first two are critical. Those are essentials. The other four are going to be advanced. Define the task. So your task, you're giving it the task just like you would any intern or someone on your team. Your task is to write a highly persuasive product description for highly popular day-to-night body butter that will resonate with young women 15 to 25. So we're giving it, we're telling it the task and we're being very specific what we want, right? Now these are more advanced. And I want you to always think this one through. You want to provide examples. If you like something that you've seen, you can say, here are some examples that I like. You use something similar. So here are examples, or if you already have examples or things that you like that are working, that are providing engagement, are compelling, you give GPT those instructions. So here are examples of descriptions that have resonated well in the past. Here you're providing examples. We want to give it a constraint. Limit the word count to no more than 15, reference the product name at least once, and include a reference to Mississauga. So you want to tell it, write no more than 500 words. Use X, use Y, give it a constraint, or it can go on and on. Because remember, this is artificial intelligence. We have to bring the human intelligence to the tool. So then number 5, give it an idea of what is considered good. In this product description, we say a good product description will outline the features and benefits, the desired tone such as luxurious, all natural, while focusing on hydration and a soothing experience. So whatever you want the GPT to give back to you, give it ideas, give it the constraints, and show it what you think is a good output for you. And then you can do expected steps towards the goal. So you can say, ideate at least 5 such product descriptions. Give it the no more than 2 to 3 sentences each, because GPT can go on and on and on, right? You don't want that, and you don't want to use up all your tokens. Use no more than 2 to 3 sentences each, then choose your top 2 choices and explain your choices. Now you're going to get some reasoning as to why did it choose it. Or you can ask it to explain the logic behind the choices, and on and on. So here you put this all together and you have the anatomy of a great prompt. How many of you have done this before? You have the anatomy like that. Perfect. That is amazing. So you're ahead of the game. Now, so that is the anatomy of a prompt. Those of you who are not using it, I highly recommend you use those 6 key elements. First 2 are essential, and the last 4 are advanced. But use advanced so you get more advanced outputs. And now, if you want a leg up on the competition, this is what you can do. And there's so many things. And this is a case study I came across. Chris Penn, who is a co-founder and chief data scientist at Trust Insights, he used it. And you can look at this to analyze. But this is Ninja, and it's a little bit more complex, going to need more tools. He wanted to analyze a competitor's strategy to inform their next step. So if you see something that you like from a competitor, whether it's a sales page that you think is doing great, or you look at their social media and say, wow, they're getting so much engagement, you can actually reverse engineer that using the AI, but it requires some more complex things. So this is what he did, and I think it was so ninja. He said, we extracted 1,900 competitor job openings and fed them all to generative AI. Then asked the model to infer their 12 to 18 month strategy based on their SEC filing, their securities filing, plus the job openings, because the job openings going to tell them what they need, who they're looking for in the next couple of months and why. So again, we're reverse engineering and it's inferring something. And he said, we were able to produce an incredibly detailed competitive analysis and an action plan based on it. This is what you can do to reverse engineer what your competitors are doing. How ninja is that? So let's talk about the ethical considerations that we want to know. The first thing you want to do is be transparent and honest when you're using AI. So when you interact with mine, I will say, you know, I'm the virtual assistant. I'll help you here. My bot is called Dotty Bot. And so you will know. So you're transparent, that they know you're interacting with your virtual assistant. A quick story here. How many of you know Ryan Levesque? How many of you know Alex Hermosi? So the story is told of Ryan Levesque, is one of my mentors. He thought he was interacting with Alex Hermosi. So these are two international marketing geniuses. So he responded to a post that Alex Hermosi had written, and it said, yeah, it responded and said, yeah, let's take it over on, say, in my DMs. He then realized, and then he went over and he started the conversation. He then realized it was a bot. He said he felt cheated, and he wrote about it, and it went viral. And he said, the thing is, you could have said, you are interacting with a bot, or this is my AI assistant. And these are some of the things that are coming down the pike that we have to start thinking about when we're using it. If you use AI or GPT to generate a paper, my belief is that you need to note that. Like some of the content or most of the content was using. So those are the things that we want to consider when it comes to the ethical considerations. You want to address how you're protecting their data and complying with their with regulations, because privacy is becoming a very, very important thing. So that's something, and we're all concerned. I mean, AI is great, but we're all concerned about what are those ethical considerations? How is my data being used? It's nothing different like if you were collecting people's email addresses and how it's going to use your privacy policies on your website. You tell them how data is being used. You also always want to be very clear and transparent, because there's nothing like when people no longer trust you. That is hard. Your reputation is hard to rebuild when you break trust. And if you walk away with nothing else from this webinar, is that your clients must believe everything you say to them. And you must be transparent with them. Because, again, trust once broken is very hard to rebuild. And with that, I say thank you. And I'm going to turn it over to you for questions. And if you'd like to connect with me on LinkedIn, that's where you can find me. And how was I for time? Thank you very much. And I will take questions now.